What's up, Wargamers? We are back tonight and taking a break from building up my armored company, putting together the first of the Leman Russ. So this is just going to be a regular Leman Russ battle tank as one of my heavy support, and then I've got some Punishers somewhere back here in the box for my HQ. A few more Leman Russes. I finally got these Sentinels right there. Finally got them stripped in simple green, so I was able to take off that base primer that ended up powdering up on me. Toothbrushed it off of there, and I got them sprayed and base colored right now. That's as far as they're at. So that's what's on my hobby table right now. But tonight I wanted to talk about changes to Killteam. So we knew for a little while that Killteam Commanders was coming about, and it was hinted in the Killteam starter set featuring the Rogue Trader. So we know that the regular Killteam boxes have all just had basically your frontline troops, maybe a veteran sergeant to be your level 1 leader. But with the Rogue Trader starter set, we now had some named characters. So we had the Rogue Trader itself, and then some of the retinue that went with it, and then we also have some upcoming commanders that I want to take a look at. And my question to you guys right off the bat is, in your opinion, is commanders going to add a good layer to Killteam? Is it going to make it a better game by being able to provide larger, bigger characters that are going to be able to dominate the battlefield? Or does it really erode the essence of what Killteam is at its core? I'll give you a little hint. My first thoughts are that Killteam was great because it didn't have all these commanders. It didn't have all these named characters. Didn't have these high-level powerhouses and then vehicles and things like that for the most part. It was really about squad-on-squad melee. It was a bit different than Necromunda. But to me, it was supposed to be your frontline troops were your disposable heroes that you put out on the battlefield. And at the end of the game, you would be in awe about some of the odd miracles that a random fire warrior or a random guardsman would pull off. And that would get kind of written down in his log and become part of his heroic feats, right? And maybe one day he would become your leader. But let's take a look at what they're doing here on the Warhammer community website. This is, of course, the official place to get your news from Games Workshop. Not rumors, but sometimes you get teased and tidbits. Let's go ahead and tilt that up. I haven't put together that other IKEA case. Still sitting on the floor, and the cat is still holding down the lounge chair back there. I don't sit in that chair either. But let's take a look at this. So this is the Imperium's available commanders, and there's nobody here specifically by name that would be a named character in 40K, but they're coming in with some names just to give them some gusto right out of the box. So if you're playing Space Marines, you'll be able to take either a Space Marine Captain, a Lieutenant, a Chaplain, a Librarian, and those are some good choices. Obviously, a Captain's probably going to be your heaviest hitting of all the bunch, but a Lieutenant, I can see not disrupting the battlefield all that much. A Chaplain, depending on whether you get to take different levels of Chaplain or Librarian, I could see them as being quite powerful, Librarian especially. But it looks like what they're teasing here is the Primaris Chaplain ability. So what the Chaplain allows you to do is that as long as your Chaplain's not shaken, you can reroll failed hits in the fight phase for friendly models within 6 inches. So if you cluster up and really put that retinue or your kill team around your Chaplain, then you're going to be able to re-roll those hits, which would be great if you're bringing Primaris Reavers or something else that's close combat oriented onto the battlefield. So that will be a strong choice. But it's to be seen yet what the special abilities and what the psychic powers are going to be like out of the Librarian and stuff. So you could pick up some of these characters, and if you want to pick up the Librarian, it looks like they're kitting him out as a Space Wolf Librarian. But I'm guessing that also means that he's going to come with the Space Wolf upgrade. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't really say, but I think you can count on it not coming with it, unfortunately. But they're using a named character with the last name Orcsbane to really bring about the Space Wolf look and feel. They, of course, just recently released Tooth and Claw, Space Wolves versus Tyrannid. So let's dive in. Deathwatch commanders are going to be a little bit different. You can, of course, still take the Chaplain, the Librarian, or the Captain. Apparently you can't take the Lieutenant, but you can take a Watchmaster. And the Watchmaster actually looks like it might be a better choice than taking the Chaplain, at least at first glance. I can't tell you about their stat lines in the game necessarily, although there's some of you guys that have probably been playtesting it, so you could, of course, chime in with a little bit more information than what I have available to me. But it's like the Chaplain ability, but as long as this model's not shaken, you can reroll failed hit rolls for friendly models within 6 inches of this model. And this is a 2 command point tactic that takes place at the beginning of the shooting phase. So shooting is obviously a strong point of the Death Watch, and then they've got their special weapon or special munitions, things like that. So of course this looks like a go-to commander if you're playing kill teams or Death Watch, right? They're kill teams too. That's the name of their tactical squads, basically. Grey Knights don't get a whole lot because of course they're tough as is, and most of their characters, the named ones at least, tend to be in Terminator armor. So they're not really introducing much Terminators into the game. It tends to be power armor being about the strongest armor you can bring to the battlefield. But you can bring in a Brotherhood champion, and you build him straight out of the box with the regular Grey Knights. So it's not like a special character you have to go out and buy. And it doesn't appear that there's a model for sale related to this one, so not sure if you're just going to be able to use him as is or if you'll have to buy. I think there's going to be a Commander's expansion, like card pack, stuff like that I may have seen a picture of at one point. So the Astra Militarum, these guys, instead of just playing 100-point games with 20 guardsmen swarmed in with las guns, now you can bring in a Lord Commissar or a platoon or company commander, or you can bring in a Tempestor Prime. No psychers or anything like that for these guys, but that allows you to bring it in. They're selling right in the box one of the commissars, so you can have Lord Commissar Fyodor Lasko, and he's got some abilities to either go up to toughness 4, and I would bet he's got some tactics that come in as well. Let's take a look at the tactic here. This is the Astra Militarum Platoon Commander tactic. So this would be if you took just your regular old plastic Cadian or Catachan Platoon Commander. It says use this tactic at the start of your shooting phase before issuing an order with a platoon or company commander from your kill team. When you issue that order, it affects all other friendly models within 6 inches. So it seems like commanders are having, right out of the box, or at least showcasing a 6-inch tactic bubble that are not, the models within 6 inches that are not shaken and have not been issued another order in this battle round. A model may still only be affected by one order. So, what does that let you do again? When you issue this order, it affects all other friendly models within 6 inches. Oh, so you're able to issue an order, take an order and issue it, but affect all of the models within 6 inches as opposed to just one. That actually took reading through it twice because I kept feeling like I was waiting for it to get to the point, but you have to read that one carefully. So my mistake, either that or just it's late in the day. So Adeptus Mechanicus are going to get 2 choices here. One of them we know is going to be a fairly strong character. Right up there probably with the company commander for the Adeptus Astartes. But they've got the ability to take in Engine Seer or a Tech Priest Dominus. And here is the tactic. In one command point tactic, it says, use this tactic at the start of your movement phase if your kill team includes a Tech Priest Engine Seer. So this isn't for the Tech Priest Dominus. As long as the model's not shaken, roll a d6 for each time a friendly model within 3 inches. So this one's shorter than the other ones. Loses a wound, and on a 6, it says specifically, that wound is not lost. If a model already has an ability with a similar effect, you can choose which effect applies and re-roll 1s when making these rolls. So basically, you can re-roll 1s if they already have the self-repair ability. So right out of the box, they're going to be selling some of these Tech Priest Dominus. It's a cool model. I've got a couple of them because they come in the Start Collecting Adeptus Mechanicus box, and one of them also came in Forgebane, so I've got a few. Only have one of them in my 2,000 point list. My other commander my other HQ in my 2,000 point list is Belisarius Call. So that's what I've got for that in terms of normal 40k. But in the coming weeks, and presumably next week, we're going to be able to see some of the commanders coming out for the Xenos, which would include Orcs, Tau, Tyranid, things like that, as well as Chaos. So I would expect that there would be a separate post specifically about Chaos just by itself, and that there's probably going to be a separate post about the kill teams from the Xenos. And then I just really kind of want to see what you guys have thought. You guys have probably played more games of Kill Team than I have. My local store is a bit slow, and they do have a lot of Kill Team demo games out there trying to get people to pick it up. It's, of course, a lightweight way into the Warhammer 40K hobby. It could be considered a current-day segue game to get people hooked on a small scale, small dollar commitment. Of course, getting you in under $100 in most cases. Most kill teams, from my experience, tend to be in that $50, $60 ballpark. 60, of course, if you're buying the kill team sets. But you could, of course, get into the game without that if you've got access to the rules. So this has been another edition of Budget Wargamer. Like and subscribe. Drop me some comments. Let's get the chatter going, and stay tuned for some more videos here coming later this